When I watched your pose today, the first thing that came to my mind was this guy reminds me a little bit on...
And I'm like thinking he's going to say you look like Arnold, because as I'm watching him, he reminds me of Arnold. Like, that's what I picture Wesley. I picture him like Arnold. It's like, and he says, you remind me of... All right, I'm just going to break it down for you. What happened at the finals tonight for men's classic physique? I'm going to talk about some of the other categories and really what it means for the sport. And so let's begin with men's classic physique, which for me was the highlight of the competition. We had Wesley Vissers, who I'm just going to give you some background. This guy, he basically won like a competition with Nick Strength and Power years ago, and he's like the golden era guy, and he wants to bring back the classic physiques from the old days, you know, the physiques from the 80s and the 90s. And back in the day, I had predicted that he was never going to win. And he came out and he won the Arnolds. Like, that is huge. Like, rare has anyone ever come from such an underdog victory. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger himself was like, wow, you're the underdog. Like, no one saw it coming. If you had predicted that Wesley Vissers was making the top 3 even in this competition, you were a rare breed. And he come out and he won the show. And I feel he deserved it. I thought it was almost like an easy win, but not easy. But I felt like he just looked like a clear winner. Like, if no one had ever seen anyone before and he just walked out, I think most people that watch the show would be like, yeah, that guy deserved to win. Like, if you're just thinking about like muscles ripped and like the symmetry and everything. And he's always said, you know, I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's emulated himself against looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so years go by and he's slowly getting better. And then he wins some competitions, makes it to the Olympia. He's getting like top 10. And this year he gets top 6. And it's like, oh, wait, wow, like, holy, like he's really pulling it together. And then he comes back and he leapfrogs all these guys like Urs, who's a great poser and has been like on the heels of Ramon Dino for so long. And he's right there. And he leapfrogs these guys. And he even beats Ramon Dino, who's a huge favorite. The guy is an amazing bodybuilder. He's from Brazil. He looks incredible. He has that aesthetic physique that so many men want to look like. And we have Chris Bumstead, who's not in the competition. So technically speaking, he beat the second best men's classic physique competitor in the world. But he did win by almost seemed like a lot. And if Chris had won, or if Chris had competed and didn't bring his best A game, like maybe his second best physique, I think Wesley would have beat him. Like, it was close enough that if Chris, I still think if it was on, that he would still beat Wesley, but it's certainly bringing the gaps a lot closer. And Wesley is bigger than Chris. And so what does it mean for the sport? Well, it means that people have to be ready for anything. You go into these shows and you expect it to go a certain way, and then a guy comes out of nowhere and then just dominates. Remember Ronnie Coleman? He did the same thing. He wasn't even in the top 5, and then he come out and won, and then he was all of a sudden 8-time Mr. Olympia champion. So picture this. Imagine Wesley comes back at the Olympia, and Chris is a little bit off, or he retires, who knows? And then Wesley wins. Imagine if Wesley becomes the next 8-time champion. You never know. Like, we're all thinking Ramon Dino, which makes sense. This guy looks incredible. But all of a sudden, a new guy comes. And so when a sport has an upset like that, like a big upset, if somebody comes out of nowhere and wins, it makes it so much more exciting. Because if you go into a show, and I'll do my prediction videos, and I did a lot better in the men's open than in the classic. But if you predict who's going to win, and you see that, and everyone just kind of plays itself out, and everyone places where you expect, kind of boring. I mean, you like the show, but what makes sports fun is that different people can win. Like, when you watch the Super Bowl, even though one guy might be a favorite to win by like 14 points, it doesn't mean they're going to win. Somebody else might win. And so that's what's really fun about sports, is that there's a chance that anything can happen. When you got ace in Texas Hold'em, you got what, 89% chance of winning. You still might lose. Even though Ramon had a huge chance to win this, doesn't mean it's in the bag. And so when Wesley Vissers comes out like this and just dominates, it means anything can happen. And so now imagine how much better the Olympia is going to be. We have Wesley, we have Ramon Dino, we have Chris Bumstead, we have Urs, we have Breon, we have so many guys that anything could happen. These guys are so close. Wesley is like, in my mind, now that he's second, it's like Chris versus Wesley. I think that's the new battle. Ramon Dino, I think, could be a bit bigger and a bit sharper. And I think Urs, it's almost like, I was like, is Urs like looking small this time compared to what I've seen him? But it was like, no, he's not small. He looks ridiculous. I was standing about 7 feet behind him at the prejudging on the stage, and I'm like, these guys look nuts. He's relaxing. He has like 10 striations in his glutes. These guys are peeled. It's just Wesley was so much bigger and fuller and leaner, and it's like the skin was shrink wrapped, and when he turned around with the hands behind the back, and the delts, it would be about out of this camera if he did it. It was like, what am I looking at? And so Arnold Schwarzenegger is interviewing him. And I'm like, I can't wait to see Arnold, because imagine being Wesley Vissers. He wants to look like Arnold. Arnold is like, this is his hero. And if you watch any of the competitors, the girls that are winning the other classes like fitness and so on.
First, I can't believe I'm here in front of my biggest bodybuilding idol.
It's such an honor every time, Arnold. Truly, it's such an honor. This is the amazing feeling.
And they're like, oh my God, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. That whether they're in wellness, they're asking the wellness winner, like, do you train any different in bikini? Like, is there any difference? Because I'm just drooling watching all of you. You girls are so hot. Like, you look good everywhere. And the girl's like, and I don't know her, Andrella, or I don't know her name. She's from probably Brazil. And she's like, yeah, I train my legs and glutes 3 times a week and upper body twice a week. And it's like, so yeah, they train a little bit different in bikini, not that much. It's mostly genetics. If you're a girl with like a smoking hot, like banging booty, and you have a bit more muscle growing potential, there's better chance you're gonna do better in wellness, and so you do wellness. I don't think women sit there and think, oh, I have no muscle, my dream is to be Miss Olympia bikini, Miss Olympia wellness. You do what you're good at. Like, so when you guys make fun of, like, say a girl for getting all jacked and watching videos, and it's like, you look like a man, and it's like, they don't start out on average thinking, I want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They start out being like, I want to be good at something, and then you get good at the sport, and you just keep doing it. And you keep getting bigger, and it's fun, and you just get into it, and that's what happens. I don't think people just compete in these sports because they want to compete in the sports. It's almost like they're good at it, and this sport allows them to be good at it. They get the dopamine, that's why they compete. Wellness, bikini, they're just competing because they're good at it. Like the girls who are doing women's fitness, they do that because they're really good at doing backflips and dancing and choreography, and that's what they do, and that's their passion. And the guys are doing classic physique. Most of them, they do that because that's what they're best at. If Urs could put on 50 pounds of muscle by just training harder tomorrow, he would do it and he would win men's open. If he could, he would. If Chris Bumstead could put on 50 pounds of muscle, he probably would just do it and compete in open. I don't think Chris is just not training for 6 months of the year thinking, I would hate it if my arms got bigger. People compete in what they're good at, and they do what they're gonna do. The reason I do bike racing, because I like it, I'm good at it. If I was really good at playing piano, I probably would have played more piano. So all these people are doing the best that they can at what they're doing. So back to Wesley. So he's interviewed by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you got to imagine being in his shoes. Like, I can just picture, like, imagine if I want to, like, I haven't even met Arnold yet. Like, it's been my hero for longer than like, think of it, I'm 48. I was watching Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator and Running Man, all these movies when I'm a teenager, and it's like, you want to meet this guy. So hopefully that'll happen.
When I watched your post today, the first thing that came to my mind was, this guy reminds me a little bit on...
So he's interviewing, and he's like, Wesley, has anyone ever told you about this physique that you look like, remind you of? And I'm in my seat thinking, oh my God, he's going to be like, you remind me of me. And it was going to be this moment of like, he's just never going to, this has got to be the best day of his life anyway. And it's like, could it get any better right now? And it's like, and I'm like thinking he's going to say, you look like Arnold. Because as I'm watching him, he reminds me of Arnold. Like, that's what I picture Wesley. I picture him like Arnold. He's like about the same height, the same kind of mass, although he's a lot more ripped than Arnold, but he has that look. And he says, you remind me of Lou Ferrigno. And when I think about it, he's like, he's kind of right. He does look like Lou Ferrigno, almost more than Arnold. They're both a lot alike.
The first thing that came to my mind was, this guy reminds me a little bit on Lou Ferrigno.
And he's listening to it, and I'm like thinking, is he going to be disappointed because he wants to be compared to Arnold? And then he ends up saying,
I've, of course, watched Pumping Iron a lot of times, and both of your physiques are truly up there with my ultimate idol, how a physique should look as a true golden era physique. So thank you for the compliment.
And so it was just such a great moment to watch Wesley being honored by Arnold Schwarzenegger and saying all these nice things and achieving his dream, and just imagine like just how good that would feel. It's like you train your whole life for this. It would be like getting your PhD in school, or perhaps accomplishing a dream that you never thought you could, and you're doing it like you're the champion. Unfrigging believable. And so even if you're not a fan of bodybuilding or men's physique or competing, or you think it's silly, you're training for a trophy, it's not for the freaking trophy. We don't compete for a plastic trophy. We're not competing for the money. Yeah, he's winning a lot of money at the show. There's no way that money would he trade in for that feeling of accomplishment of having trained his entire life for years, put everything into it, and you have no idea how hard bodybuilding is if you haven't tried it. Like, think of the world's population. They can't even get rid of obesity. These guys are 4% body fat or less. Some of these guys are ridiculously shredded. If you give every single obese person in the world the willpower, the determination, the stick-to-itiveness of Wesley Vissers, there isn't one obese person on this planet, not a single one. You can debate me all you like, genetics this and genetics that. Of course, there's genetics. But when you have freaking willpower like Wesley and determination like that, to come from me saying he'll never win a pro show, never get to Olympia, to winning the Arnold Classic, there's no way you can convince me that every single person, if they had that kind of determination and willpower and whatever they want to do in life. I don't care if it's a job. I don't care if it's school. I don't care what it is. Being in a good relationship with your partner, having friends. If you can put that much effort into it, you're not going to be disappointed. If you can apply yourself like that, that's why I love bodybuilding so much, and I've done it for so many years. I've done 59 shows. I think I started training when I was 10. I was competing in high school. If you can put your effort into yourself like that, imagine what you can accomplish. How did it turn out for me? I was a bodybuilder. I applied what I put in, that same effort in bodybuilding, that discipline I learned from being a bodybuilder, from putting the fork down, from doing cardio, from being uncomfortable, and just doing it and just keeping on doing it and never giving up. If you can do that, you can do anything. I didn't give up. I had so many obstacles, and I'm not trying to turn this about me, but I'm just picturing myself, and I'm like, if I couldn't have kept studying, I couldn't have kept trying, if I had just given up at any time in my life, I'd never be where I am today. You just have to keep trying, and you have to keep doing it. And so as I sat in the audience and I was watching this show and I was cheering for Wesley, and you guys, I know some of you say, oh, you're just a hater, you put all these people. I just tell you what I think. I think that a certain person's gonna win. I think they're gonna win, not win. I just tell you. I'm not doing it to be mean or to be rude. I just do it because that's what I think. And so I'm sitting there at the morning and I'm like, man, I hope he can win this because I feel he deserves to win. I don't care if I didn't like somebody, or I would want them to deserve to get what they deserve. Like, I don't have anything ill will towards people like that. If they deserve something, I want them to get it. I don't care about what I've said in the past or what have you. And so for him to get out there and to win it, it was just such a good feeling for me. I hope that you all can appreciate that. It's bodybuilding. You don't need to be a bodybuilder. You're lifting weights. You don't need to step on stage. You can eat right. You can do your cardio. You can train harder than last time. And if you can do all those things and apply it to everything in your life, everything else, you are going to be a winner. You are going to be a champion. You are going to be successful. And remember, success for me, it's not about making $1 million or $10 million or $1 billion. It's not about winning the competition. It's about being the best version of yourself, the best you that you can be. And it's not just having single-digit body fat or having the best-looking girlfriend or having the best-looking car or having the nicest house. It's just being the best version of yourself. And so whatever you are doing in life, you can do better. Just think of it. You can do better. I don't care if you're 60 and you're like, all my good days are behind me. I'm getting older. My testosterone levels are down. I don't care. You don't need to have a better physique. Can you get better in the head? Can you be smarter? Can you learn more? Can you treat people better? Treat people with more respect? Can you self-actualize? Can you read a book and perhaps learn something? Learn about the world from other people's point of view. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I don't even watch TV anymore. I read books, I'm learning a new language, I'm traveling, I'm having an amazing time, an amazing experience. And for me, I think I really owe it all to bodybuilding. I don't think if I had done bodybuilding, I'd be able to push myself to be motivated the way I am right now. I hope you guys can understand that bodybuilding is not just some sport where people take steroids and look in the mirror and flex and pick things up and put them down. There is so much more to that. And unless you've done a show, you probably don't get it. You don't understand it. You think I'm just talking out of my ass and don't make any sense. But remember, this has been my passion for my entire life. And I absolutely love it. I love being at these competitions. I love meeting all the fans. I love seeing what the sport of bodybuilding has done for so many people. And so if you haven't watched a bodybuilding show, get out and watch one. And the next time you see a friend that's dieting for a show, don't think it's stupid and dumb and it's some stupid egotistical. It's not. It's about being the best version of yourself and challenge yourself to doing something. Same as if your friend said, I'm going to climb up Mount Everest. Oh, that's stupid. Why would you do that? I'm going to run a marathon. Why would you ever do that? I want to lose 100 pounds. I want to change my life. I want to do anything they want to do, encourage them to do it. It's about being your best self. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button right now. Like the video if you liked it. Give Wesley a congratulations. And anytime somebody's doing something that they're passionate about, just try to support them. It means so much to people. Like when people give you respect or even just an applause or just a certain look of appreciation, like knowing that other people respect and appreciate it and are perhaps proud of what you're doing, it means the world to people. And so smile at people, just be happy, be good people, treat each other with respect. Also, of course, you can buy my friggin' cookbooks. I don't need you to buy it. You can buy my supplements. And some people are haters out there. Oh, he's all about money. I have money, but I still like and enjoy promoting supplements. I like and enjoy selling my cookbooks. It's fun for me. It's what I do. I'm at the expos. I'm meeting hundreds and thousands of fans. And imagine how good it feels to see her. You saved my life. I lost 200 pounds, 100 pounds, 150 pounds. All these people losing weight. You were the reason I started my fitness journey. You got me through COVID. I hear it every single day. I don't see any hate. I don't see anyone coming up to me and being an ass. Everybody is tremendously respectful. It's absolutely surreal to do what I do and to meet all the fans, and I appreciate everybody. I love talking to people. This is such a fantastic experience for me. I get to do this again in the Arnold's UK in just 2 weeks from now. And so please come and say hi. We'll take photos and we'll chat as fast as we can, trying to meet as many of you as possible. And so yeah, that's it. I hope you liked the video. Remember, if you're interested in buying anything, it's code Greg for 15% off. Also, there's a free diet and training program that I offer. It's close to 50 pages long, and it's for several different calorie levels, like 3,000, 2,500, 2,000, 50. Because no matter who you are, you can use these diets. I don't care. We've given away almost 100,000 of these. Like, people are losing weight with these things. They work. It's a plan. You follow the plan. If you're not losing weight, you go on a lower calorie plan. They work for life. If you can follow these recipes you're getting in the cookbook, if you follow the plans, if you just change a couple recipes in your life, it can make a world of difference. And so please go and check that out. And until next time, I am out.